Hello, everybody. This is Dutch from Build Gamebox, and welcome to part 2 of the currency tutorial, building an inventory and shop system. So the first thing we're going to do with our code is we're going to come in and we're going to add some scene variables that are going to contain the information for our inventory as well as gold. So the first variable we're going to create is a number called player gold. We're going to have the starting value be 100, which means that we will start the game with 100 gold. Now, in order to create the inventory, we're going to create another new variable. We will call that the player inventory. And this is going to contain a lot of different items. So we're going to make it a structure. Now, a structure has things called children, which are other variables. So a structure is basically a collection of variables. So the first variable we're going to add is our variable for bread, which is going to be a number. We have 0 bread, and then we're going to add 2 more variables for the potion as well as the hat. We can just leave all those as numbers and with 0 as their default value. Now, when you create a structure, it will automatically alphabetize everything underneath it. So don't worry about dragging things into specific orders. All right, now we have our variables made in the scene. We're going to save it. We're going to go jump into our event sheet. Right now, we have nothing in the event sheet. So we are going to start out by creating our first events. Click on Add an Event. And we're going to add a new condition. And so the first condition we want to add is a condition for when the scene starts. So we type in start scene to search, and we see at the beginning of the scene. And we click OK. Now, when this means this action will take place right when the scene loads. So the first thing we want to do is we want to say, let's set the text of the total gold text equal to that player gold variable we just set up. That way, when we load or preview the scene, it will set it to 100, just like we put it in those scene variables. So we can save it. And if we preview, now you'll see that it has a 100 in the gold section and not the 00 that we put in for the default value. All right, well, now we want to create some other new conditions. So the first new condition that we're going to want to create is for when we want to work the mines and add gold to our inventory. So we're going to choose the Work Mines button, and when that is clicked, we're going to add an action that will grant us 50 more gold into the inventory. Now, in order to do that, we're going to go into the variables section. And we're going to change a variable value. We'll say we take the player gold. We want to add 50. So we'll click OK. And now, every time you click the Work Mines button, it should add 50 gold. Now we want to clean things up here a little bit. So we're going to go over to the right-hand side, click that Add button, and here there's some special things that you can add. I like to choose the event group here. This creates a blue header for us where I can say Work Mines button. Now we can kind of put our events into a little more logical areas. We're going to add another new event group here. And then these are going to be the Buy Items buttons. So under the Buy Items section, we are going to add some new events for buying each of the 3 items that we have created. So we're going to go in, we'll create an event or a condition for when you click the button. Then we are going to add the action for what happens when you click that button. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the item to our player inventory. Now you can see when you create a structure, there's the player inventory dot potion, which is that second variable that we added under the player inventory structure. So you can see there, it's going to change the variable and add the potion to that inventory. So now on top of that, we are going to want to add the potion onto the UI so that you can see that you bought it. So we want to set the text of the number of potions equal to that value in the structure player inventory dot potions. Now, also, these items in the store are going to cost money. So now we're going to choose player gold, subtract, and we'll put in the value that we've decided, which is 50. So now you can see you're going to add a potion, you're going to update the text for that, and you're going to subtract the gold. See up there that changed the text of total gold set to player gold? We want to do that again. So we're going to copy that, and then we're going to paste those down there in the work mines button and over here. So now we're going to be updating the amount of gold on screen after we do either the work mines or the buy potion button. So we can come in here and test it. We work the mines, it's updating right there. We buy potions and we can see my gold is decreasing and my number of potions is increasing. So now we can see everything seems to be working correctly, except I'm able to go negative. And I don't think that it's a good idea to let us go negative. So what we want to do here is to prevent that button from working in the case that we don't have enough money to buy the item. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a check on the player gold to see and make sure that it is greater than or equal to 50, which is the cost of this potion. So now we have that set in there. We can save it real quick. We're going to preview. We can add a bunch of money. And now if we buy potions, it just won't let us do that if we don't have the gold. It's a fairly basic method, but it works. So now we're going to create two more events. We're going to copy that and we're just going to change these for the buy hat button as well as the buy bread button. Now we're going to go in. We decided the hat would be 150 gold. So we're just going to come into all these variables here and we're going to update them from potion to hat and from the 50 gold cost to the 150 gold cost. Now, when you're doing these copy and pastes like this, there's always a number of variables that you're going to have to update. So it's a very good idea that you double check and test all of this stuff. It's very easy to make quick mistakes when you're copying and pasting. So now we're going to test the hats. Nope, doesn't let us buy it. Add some money, lets us buy it. Everything seems to be updating. We can add another. Looks good. Let's go on ahead and create the event for the, oh, didn't mean to do that. We're going to copy it and then we will, there we go, paste it. So now we'll change all of these values to indicate the bread. Bread is only going to cost 25 gold. So then we'll update all these variables as well. Dot bread, we will add 1, change that to num bread. And change that to 25. Now all of our buttons should be hooked up. Preview it and do a quick test. Now we can start buying our bread. Can't buy anything there. And now we can start adding to our inventory. And that is the basic inventory system and the end of our currency tutorial. This is an incredibly simple system, but with these tools, you can move on to build much more complex inventory systems with buying and selling and equipping. Please see the tutorials below in the text and to learn more and to expand upon this system. Thanks again, and this has been the currency tutorial for Build Gamebox.